Hi, welcome to my channel, Not Your Average Weight Loss. I'm Karen, a 56-year-old mom of one. I started compounded tirzepatide about a year and 3 months ago, and I'm in maintenance. Welcome. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you've been here before, welcome back. So I was thinking about my next video, and for those of you that are just starting, maybe thinking of a GLP-1, I want to do a video on basically how I went from 193 pounds, which was my highest weight, to 130 pounds on a GLP-1 medication, which is my current weight now, compounded tirzepatide, and I take a 3 milligram dose. I've continued taking that dose throughout my journey. I didn't need to go up. That works for me. Everybody's different. So let's jump in. So if somebody told me a year ago that, and I've taken some notes here, I would go from 193 pounds to 130 pounds, I honestly wouldn't have believed them. For years, I've struggled with my weight. I tried diets. I tried everything, exercising. I'd lose the weight, gain it back, and start all over again, right? The yo-yo dieting everybody's heard of. Today, at 56 years old, I'm down 63 pounds from my highest weight. And I want to share exactly how I got here, what worked, what surprised me, and what I'm doing now to maintain my results and build a healthier and stronger body, right? So today I'm sharing my complete transformation story, so stay tuned. So my starting point. When I started this journey, I weighed at my highest 193 pounds. Physically, I was uncomfortable. Emotionally, I was frustrated. I didn't like feeling like this. I just didn't feel like myself, right? I avoided pictures, the whole 9 yards. I lacked energy. Simple activities like walking upstairs felt difficult. And most importantly, I knew I wasn't living the healthy lifestyle that I wanted for longevity, right? And I'll be honest, when I first started, I was nervous. I worried about the side effects, but I did my research, and I worried about what other people would think. And be honest with you, to this day, I still do. Not everybody knows that I'm on a compounded GLP-1, compounded tirzepatide. So, you're wondering, will it work? Well, it works, I can tell you. But I finally decided that I needed to make a change and give myself a chance for a healthier lifestyle. So one of the biggest changes for me when I started my journey, weight loss journey, was the food noise. And I'm sure you guys heard about this before. Probably the second day after taking my first shot, all the food noise went away, right? For this first time in years, food wasn't constantly in my brain, controlling my thoughts. I wasn't obsessing about the next meal or thinking about what snacks I'm going to have at night. The mental freedom was one of the most powerful changes that I experienced on a GLP-1 medication. What I did differently. So the medication helps, right? But it's not magic. You have to put the work in. I still had to make lifestyle change for myself for a healthier lifestyle. So I focused on staying in a calorie deficit, prioritizing protein every day. Of course, I'm sure you heard this. Tracking macros, drinking plenty of water, strength training consistently. My goal wasn't simply to lose weight. My goal was to lose fat, recomp my body while preserving my muscle and even gaining some, right? So my mindset really changed everything. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before. Protein is very important. One thing I learned very quickly was that protein does matter, particularly when you're on a GLP-1 medication. As appetite decreases, it's easy to undereat, right? So that's why they say prioritize your protein. Eat the protein first, because it became, for me, the foundation of every meal. I focused on not only protein, but quality protein, such as salmon, wild-caught salmon, not farm-raised, chicken, lean beef, eggs, Greek yogurt, protein shakes and protein bars. In fact, I recently started putting whey protein into my Greek yogurt, and it's been very helpful. I love it. I do a vanilla flavor. It tastes really good. And it helps you stay full, right? And recover from workouts, preserve your muscle. There's a lot of benefits. So I did incorporate some supplements through my journey as well. I take creatine to support my strength, performance, muscle preservation, collagen peptides to support my joints, connective tissues, and overall health. And I've been recently taking amino acids to help support recovery and muscle maintenance. I do also take TRT, which is the testosterone therapy, replacement therapy, and that's just for wellness strategy and longevity. So everyone's situation is different. I'm not a doctor. I'm just letting you know what's worked for me and what I've taken. So these decisions, of course, should go through your healthcare provider. So my body composition results, recently I've become more focused on that as opposed to the scale going down and what the scale says. I know it's very difficult to do, but it takes some effort to do that. And that's where things get interesting, right? For me, at least. Over the last several weeks, my body fat percentage dropped from 33.4% to 32.7%. My body fat mass decreased from 44.5 pounds to 43.7 pounds. My lean mass increased from 83.7 pounds to 84.3 pounds. And also my skeletal muscle increased from 51.1 pounds to 51.6 pounds. My visceral fat went down from a 9 to a 7, which that really surprised me. I didn't expect that at all. So these numbers tell me something very important. I'm not just losing weight, I'm improving my body composition, and that's my goal. The other goal I had was belly fat. One of the biggest changes I've noticed is the reduction in my belly fat. For years, that was one of my most frustrating areas. As my body fat percentage decreased and my visceral fat improved, I noticed changes in how my clothes fit, how I felt, and how it looked, how my belly actually looked. If you're wondering what visceral fat is, it's the fat that surrounds your internal organs. It's the dangerous one, right? The fat you can't see. So reducing this is one of the most important improvements you can make for long-term longevity health. So that was really motivating for me. My reverse diet journey, and you can get the details of this in my prior videos. I think I did 2 of them. I started this in December of 2025. One thing people don't talk about enough is what happens after significant weight loss. I mean, that's a lot of weight loss, right? Over 50 pounds. Eventually, you have to think about maintenance. It's going to come eventually. That's why I started the reverse diet. Instead of continuing to slash the calories lower and lower, I've slowly increased my calories. And that's what the reverse diet is. And something amazing happened, right? My weight stayed stable. It hasn't gone up from 133 to 134. I'm a little lower now, like I mentioned, 130. But during that increase of calorie, it didn't really move. And I was doing this while losing fat, gaining lean muscle, increasing skeletal muscle. So this phase really has taught me that maintenance isn't about eating less forever. It's about learning how to fuel your body properly for your goals. Me, it's gaining muscle, strength. The biggest lesson I've learned is this. Don't focus on the scale. The scale tells only one part of the story, right? Body fat, muscle mass, strength, energy, confidence, those things matter too. And sometimes the best progress happens when the scale barely moves, as I mentioned. So going from 193 pounds to 130 pounds has changed my life. Not just physically, emotionally, mentally, and most importantly, it's given me hope that lasting change is really possible. If you're just starting your GLP-1 journey, my advice is simple. Be patient. Prioritize protein. Strength train if you can, some form. Focus on the habits, right? That you're going to, once you're in maintenance, that you're going to continue. And trust the process. So if you're on a similar journey, I'd love you to comment and like and subscribe if you think this was helpful. I really appreciate your time. You enjoy the rest of your Sunday with you and your family, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.